Anand Giridharadas, the publisher of The Ink, had a great piece out today in which he pointed out that we used to think of America being the land of the brave, but it just maybe ain't so anymore. Or maybe, was it really ever, or did we just have those who stood up for this country actually were the few brave ones? I don't know. I want you to listen to this piece, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Anand, you have a new essay out just this morning on The Ink entitled Home of the Brave? Really? And you write in part, quote this, as I write this, there are scattered and inspiring examples of bravery all around us. Prosecutors, judges, even the occasional lawmaker. But in the main, we are proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are not the home of the brave. We are a country full of people smilingly capitulating to a tyrant. You go on to write, maybe it was always a mistake to count on these big institutions to protect us. They haven't been for some time now. Yes, there are a handful of brave lawmakers, brave judges, brave media voices, brave others. But in general, it is now very clear after this first month that no one is coming to save us. It's time to take back our country, not only from this authoritarian nightmare, but also from the collaborators, too insipid and weak and chicken, you know what, too skinless and boneless to stand up for us.
This is a moment that is actually something the mayor said, Mayor Adams said, that got me thinking about this essay. He used two simple words to describe what you saw on that sofa. He said, I'm collaborating. I'm collaborating. Now, I don't know personally if the mayor has a sense of history, but anybody who does have a sense of history and is familiar with the history of authoritarianism around the world knows that I'm collaborating is a sentence with some meaning. And it got me thinking about the idea of collaboration and the fact that the mayor, who for the sake of his own narrow freedom, tried to make a deal to turn this city that is a city made of immigrants, America's immigrant city, into a city home to Trump's immigration raids. But collaboration really is a broader metaphor. We're seeing it with newspaper owners who won't stand up to Donald Trump. We're seeing it with companies that are settling lawsuits, frivolous lawsuits to appease Donald Trump to protect their wider commercial interests. We're seeing it with so many in the Democratic so-called opposition, where except for a few, exceptions like Senator Chris Murphy and AOC and others, most Democratic lawmakers turn out to have no spine, but that was not disclosed on their medical forms. And we're just seeing again and again and again, with these scattered exceptions that are very important, some prosecutors and others, we're seeing that we're just not that brave a country in our core. And I think it's a different self-image than the self-image we have. I think Americans think of themselves as brave. We think of ourselves as the country that stood up to authoritarianism and fascism in World War II and saved Europe. We think of ourselves as a country full of spine. And we are seeing again and again, whether it's the mayor, whether it's leaders of media, whether it's CEOs stripping out their diversity programs, throwing their own employees under the bus, whether it's university leaders not standing up for their faculty. This is a country going boneless. And it's time, I think, for regular people to stand up, as they did yesterday in these 50-51 protests across the country. It is time for regular people to stop counting on people with too much, I guess, skin in the game to be brave.
But let's look at General Milley. Here's a guy who had his portrait taken down at the Pentagon, somebody that had his security taken away from him, despite the fact that he's at the top of the Iranians' hit list, along with Donald Trump, because of Soleimani's killing. Where's General Mattis? Where's Mad Dog Mattis? I haven't heard him say anything. Where are all the other generals that served with him, the admirals that served with him? Where are the people that served this man? You don't become one of the highest ranking soldiers of your generation without fighting a lot of fights, being in a lot of foxholes, either literally or figuratively, with a lot of band of brothers and sisters. And yet the silence has been deafening from active duty, of course. They have a harder problem saying anything. But even all the retired generals and admirals that served with him through the years, silence.
Yeah, I think a lot of what we're learning is a lot of people think they're mad dogs, but they have no bark, no bite, and no claws. And they're actually just full of fear on the inside. They're wanting to collaborate. They're wanting to make deals. You know, I remember I took a class on cinema under authoritarian regimes when I was in college a long time ago. And what happened in all these movies was these officials who were brave at the beginning. I remember this scene in one of these Eastern European countries. Someone was brave at the beginning, standing up, and then somehow a nice, lovely piece of meat came to their dinner table from, I guess, the leader of the regime. And that was enough, you know? If you wanted to have nice things, you gave in. We know from history that's what allows societies to go. We now know overnight Elon Musk's Doge squad has his fingers in our grandma's social security accounts, already got IRS data. We are witnessing a full-scale anti-constitutional coup by an unelected billionaire on the screen, Elon Musk. And we're just learning that maybe we got to amend the song because you can't be the land of the free if you're not willing to be the home of the brave.
Anand Giridharadas nails it. We are not the land of the brave right now, but the truth of the matter is we have to be the land of the brave if we are to get out of this mess that MAGA has erroneously put us in, that those of you who didn't vote has put us in, that those who has seeded the country to some of the most inept that has ever run this country. If we don't braven up and do what's necessary, we're in trouble. But you know what? I am seeing it. People are starting to realize that. And there are times that you just need to be given a kick in the butt to say, do you want to lose it all? Do you really want to lose it all? By having these oligarchs along with the felon take over the country, destroy all these institutions, all these programs that took decades to create to solve the problems of America. Are you going to allow lies, misinformation, deception to really destroy the country? It is time to be brave. Anand Giridharadas nails it.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.